Once your table leaders get all your supplies, you should have a tray that looks like this: a pile of white, a pile of green with some yellow in it, and a pile of black. My table leaders are going to be the only people who are going to be mixing paint for me today. Let me turn on the other light. So, the first thing that I'm going to have the table leaders do, hold on, let me get my brush clean, is they're going to mix the green and yellow together. We don't want water in our brush, so swipe 3 times on your brush, and we're not actually going to clean our brush the entire time, okay? Once we pull it out and swipe the water out, we're not putting it back in the water till the end of class when we're done with our painting. Okay, so the first step is just to try and mix the green and yellow together without, don't get any white or black in there. Just mix it. It's just gonna lighten that green up a little bit. Okay. Then, once we have it mixed, the table leader and the table leader only, because they're the only ones mixing it, scrape off as much of the paint as you possibly can, and then go wash your brush, okay? Because we're not actually starting with the green, we're gonna start with the white. So once it's washed, swipe it. Okay, so we're basically gonna do value, right? Adding white to a color to make a tint, adding black to a color to make a shade. White makes it lighter, black makes it darker. The first step is to do just a white oval. Everything today is going to be an oval. Last year you guys did a painting like this with blue and you did circles. It's the same thing, just instead of doing a circle, we're kind of doing a long oval. So that's about 4 fingers wide and about 1 finger, or sorry, 4 fingers long, tall, and about 1 finger wide. And I'm just doing a white oval. That's my first step. So everyone's going to get the white, do their oval. Then, when you're done with that, the table leader is going to take 1 scoop, only the table leader does this, 1 scoop of green, bring it over to the white, mix it up. It's going to be a light green, okay, like a mint green. Once we have that, don't paint on the white oval, paint around it. And everything today is going to be an oval, so you're painting essentially a ring around the oval. And I'm pressing all the way down with my brush so it flattens out, and then I'm swooping it around. None of this. We're not doing that, okay? Press all the way down and swoop around. Once everyone at your table has done that, go take a scoop of green, bring it over to that white, mix, mix, mix. This is your table leader doing this, only your table leader. Right? Hold on, I've got a little bit of green hanging over. Mix, mix, mix. Once it's mixed, get a little scoop. Roll your brush in the paint. Roll it so that all sides of your brush are covered. We don't want just a little bit of paint, we want a good amount of paint. Okay? We're gonna do another ring. Once you have that ring, table leader goes back. Let's get a few globs. Get a good amount. Okay? 3 or 4 big scoops. And we're gonna do our last ring. Okay, roll it. The last one with the white. And we can overlap it a little. Okay? Now, the next step is just getting green. Okay? We're just gonna do green, but it's instead of being like 1 finger wide, it's gonna be like 2 or 3 fingers wide. So do a thicker oval. Pretty thick. Okay? Pretty thick. You might have to dip in the green a few times. No up and down brush strokes. No side to side. We're always doing a curved oval. Okay, it doesn't need to be perfect. Okay, once everyone has their green, we're gonna make sure everyone has painted their green. Then we're gonna take a scoop of black, move it into the green. Okay. Take a pretty good scoop, maybe 2. Once you've mixed that, do a ring. When you're done with this ring, you should only have essentially the corners left. Everything else should be covered in paint, but the corners. Okay, the top and the bottom in the middle are painted. The top of the page, bottom of the page, all covered. Okay, the sides might be covered, but the corners aren't. Then you're going to take the rest of this black and mix it in. So next up is taking the rest of the black, mixing it. And when you have that, cover the rest of the paper. So the corners, if you have a little bit left on the side. Okay. Your whole page now, when you're done with this step, should be covered. Try not to leave any white. You might actually have to do what I'm doing, which is paint right off the paper onto the desk. I don't want little white spots all around the edges, okay? If you got paint on your desk, don't worry about it. We're gonna wash it, okay? Now, the whole thing is covered. Look at, I've got paint all around the edges on the desk. That's fine. Take this with both hands, go put it in the drying rack. Remember, we start from the bottom and go up. And then we're gonna wait for it to dry. And the next class, we add the trees on top and the snow on top.